Hi, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to today's Brain Meet Body class. This is all about the triple S. So in this style of LYT Yoga, which is mainly, the format is through LYT Yoga, LYT, PT developed yoga style. We focus on a lot of different things, but especially this concept called the triple S, which is aligning our spine in an optimal way with the skull, the shoulder blades or scapulas, and the sacrum at the base of the spine, all on the same line. And so that allows the neutral curve of the neck and the low back to be there, and it lets the head and the ribs and the pelvis all sit up on top of each other, supporting one another in that neutral curvy spine position. So if you want to try this at a wall, you can pause the video and put your back up to a wall, take your feet 4 or 6 inches away from the bottom of the wall, and just feel the sacrum, which feels like a big flat bone right above your tailbone, your shoulder blades and your skull all drawing into the wall. And you can really feel how the whole circumference of your torso works to support that shape. And then now we'll take that shape onto the ground. So for today's class, you will want a block or something that could be like a block, something supportive, and then potentially a blanket if you want that under your knees at any point or under your head right now if the head doesn't come to the floor easily. Okay, so come on down to your back and then feel here. What a cool view this tree is. Okay, so feel here, you've got your sacrum. So you can even let the legs just rock a little left to right to feel that, what feels like a big flat bone, but it's actually some fused vertebrae together. Feel the weight shift side to side there. And then bring stillness to the legs. Feel that neutral low back curve off the floor. And then sense that your scapulas or your shoulder blades have a connection to the ground. And then finally, the curviest part of your skull. So the chin isn't jutting up towards the sky, it's settling towards the front of the throat and that curvy part of the skull. So skull, shoulder blades, sacrum, connecting on the same plane. Grab your block and take it the skinny or the medium way between your thighs to turn on those inner thigh muscles, those adductors that feed into the base of our core, the pelvic floor. Get all that going. Think about the tripods of your feet so you can lift your toes, but feel that the big ball mound, the pinky toe mound, and the heel stay firmly rooted, giving you that energetic lift up through the arch, and then let the toes come down. Okay, then take the hands to the thighs. You can press the thighs away from you, straightening the arms. Draw the low belly into the body, pick up the tailbone, squeeze around the sit bones and lift the hips, but keep the shoulder blades and most of the back ribs on the floor. And then feel, again, the feet drawing back towards your body to really enliven and engage your legs. And then we'll just add some little lifts and lowers. So just lowering a couple inches and then engaging the glutes and lifting the hips again. So keeping this out of the low back, really making this a small, controlled movement, focusing on waking up your stabilizing glute muscles. And then let's take the arms straight up above the shoulders, flexing at the wrists. Continue to pulse the hips, slow and controlled, drawing the belly in. And then take the left hand to the 4 fingers of the right hand and pull down towards your face. Take a breath into the entire circumference of your ribs. And let it out. And as you let it out, feel the core muscles drawing in to support that expiration of air. Let the right thumb have a little action, reaching over to the left. Keep pulsing the hips. And then switch. Grab the 4 fingers of the left hand, pull them down. Keep the left arm straight. Let the thumb have some action. Connect again to your breath. And then you can stop the pulsing of the hips, but keep this bridge nice and low. And then take the hands to the floor, palms pressing. And then as you exhale, use that exhale to slowly control the lowering of the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way until the sacrum, again, has that weight in it, and you feel that neutral curve return to your low back. And then we will continue to turn on the deep core stabilizing muscles by some more core work. Bringing the block between the knees the skinny way, having the feet on the floor, and taking the hands to cup behind the skull. The elbows will draw in towards one another. Take a breath in. And then use the exhale to pull the front ribs down towards the back ribs and lift from the sternum. Lift the shoulder blades, support the weight of the head. And then take a little turn to the left. It's a small turn from the sternum, just an inch or two. Come back to center and inhale and lower. And then exhale and lift, pull in and down. Take your little turn to the right, feeling it nice and deep. Small turn. Come back to center. Inhale, control the lower. Exhale, pull in and down. Feel the low belly too, drawing in. It's not poofing up towards the ceiling. Take a turn to the left and then let your right arm slice across your body. Reach the fingertips an inch further forward. Bring the hand behind the head, back to center. Inhale and lower. Exhale, pull in and down. Lift the shoulder blades off the floor. Squeeze the block, turn an inch or two to the right. Left arm slices across, reach it another inch. Hand behind the head, back to center. Inhale, control the lower. Exhale and lift, adding on, building the heat. Take an inch or two, turn to the left. Let your right arm slice across, reach it a little bit more, and then extend the left knee. Flex the toes towards the face. Keep squeezing the block. Get a little higher. Put the foot down. Bring the hand behind the head. Inhale and lower. Exhale and lift. Building this core strength. Take an inch or two, turn to the right. Let the left arm slice across. You get a little higher. Let the right knee extend. Pull the right toes towards the face. Get a little higher. Oh yes, hand behind the head, foot down, back to center. Inhale, lower. We've got one more on each side. You've got it. Exhale, pull in and down, lift. Take a little turn to the left. Slice your right arm across. Get higher. Left leg extends, and then lift the right heel off the floor. Pressing into the big ball mound of the right foot. Lower the heel, lower the left foot, hand behind the head, back to center. Inhale, lower. Last one, exhale, lift. Take an inch or two, turn to the right. The left arm slices across, the right leg extends. Get a little higher and then push into the left ball mound of the foot. Lift the heel. Oh my goodness, so good. Back to center, release. Take the block out. Let the block come to the side. Take the feet nice and wide. And then let the knees fall to the left. As that happens, think about your triple S. So the right butt's going to pick up off the floor and your low back might start to arch. Meet that by pulling the low belly in. So you're driving down into the inside of the right foot and you're still thinking about lining up back of skull, shoulder blades, and sacrum. So you're drawing the low belly in so that that sacrum can stay kind of in line. And then let the knees come up through center and fall over to the right, squeezing around your left sit bone a little bit as that happens to continue to control that pelvis from pushing too far forward. Drive to the inside of the left foot. And then come back up through center. Awesome. We're going to use the heat that we have built to support us now, resisting gravity a little bit and continuing to connect to our triple S. So yay, let's continue to build this brain mapping. Get your knees right underneath your hips. Get the heels of your hands right underneath your shoulders. And feel that the front ribs are not drooping towards the floor, but they're drawing up to meet that back ribs. Take your left hand behind your head and imagine like it's the wall. So you're drawing the skull, the shoulder blades, and the sacrum all up into the same plane of your hand. Feel the right hand pushing the floor away and feel all of this action from the shoulder into the side body. And then send your right leg back on toes without letting the belly droop to the floor. Keep drawing up to continue to connect to that triple S alignment. Think about your right glute here. It has to work. It has to engage to keep the hip extended, the leg nice and strong. Now your final option here is to just lift the right toes off the floor, really trying not to let the belly go. You might have a little bend of your right knee and then let the toes come down. Lift the toes to hover a few inches off the floor. Don't let that right hip change and then let the toes come down. Lift, keep drawing the head into the hand and lower. 2 more, lift. Building these brain mapping connections, these little neural pathways, lower. Last one, lift and lower. This time we'll lift and we'll hold for one more moment and extend the left arm forward. Keep drawing that front line of the body in to meet the back. And then put the right knee next to the left knee, put the left hand down. If it's ever too much to be right on your hands, you can always pop up on fists for a moment. And then we'll just take a little cat-cow here. So let the shoulder blades start to glide down your back ribs as your gaze goes forward and your belly drops a little bit, not completely letting it go. And then exhale, push the floor away. Try and spread the mat apart from left to right with your hands and round your back. And then come back to a neutral spine. Lifting the front body towards the back body. Now the right hand comes behind the head. The left toes go back. Draw the front body up. Pull like a drawstring, that low belly towards the spine. Lift the head into the hand. And then we keep drawing the whole front body towards the back body. Think about your left glute. Fire it up. Maybe soften your left knee. And then lift from the core, from the left glute, the left toes off the floor just to hover and lower. So don't feel this in your low back. Keep drawing the belly in. Lift, doesn't have to be a big lift, and lower. Lift and lower. 2 more. Keep lifting the head into the hand. Lift and lower. Last one to lift and lower. And then we'll lift it, hold it for a moment. Drawstring in the belly. Think about the triple S here and extend the right arm forward. Thumb pointing up. Take a breath in. And then exhale, right hand down, left knee down. Take a moment in child's pose. Sit the hips back to the heels. Toes can be tucked or not. And then let the forehead come to the floor. Maybe taking a little prayer position with the hands pressing together overhead, stretching out the triceps, drawing the elbows back towards the body energetically. Take a breath in. And open your mouth, let it go. Take a breath in. And let it go. Bring the hands onto the mat. Tuck the toes and sit the hips back and up for your first downward facing dog. Feeling the weight equal in hands and feet. Pedaling the feet out. Letting one heel drop as the opposite knee bends deeply. Keep pressing up and away through the hands. Let the shoulder blades glide up the back ribs. Keep drawing the front body in. And then as you exhale, look forward and take a step to the top of the mat. Sit back in your butt and inhale. Reach your arms forward and up. Exhale, hands down through your heart. You're ready to move a little bigger now. You're all heated up and warm from the inside. So start at the top of your mat. You've got the heels underneath your hips, shoulders on top of pelvis, head on top of spine. Inhale, reach forward and up. And then exhale, sit back into your butt. So hinging into the hips, the knees are not going forward. Bring the hands down either to blocks or to the floor. Step your right foot back. Lower the right knee and the top of the right foot and come up for your 90-90 low lunge. So hip is over this knee. Front heel and back knee draw together energetically and feel that support of your base. And then take your right hand behind your head. Take the back of the left hand to the sacrum. Here's your triple S. Draw back into your hands. Feel your right glute has to have some action in it to feel that right hip open. Actively opening. And then hands come forward and down. Step the front foot back, walk your knees back a little bit and get into a kneeling plank position, and imagine someone has like a broomstick or a pole and it's laying on your back and you're connecting the skull, the shoulder blades, and the sacrum to that line, even though it's at an angle. So draw the front body in, hold around the pelvis, and then resist the floor as you bend the elbows. Come down. Press the pubic bone down, feel that protection of the low belly drawing in towards the low back, and then inhale, lift the heart. Exhale to come down, tuck the toes, get firm around the spine, and then push the floor away, lift from the belly, walk the feet in a little bit. You're in your downward facing dog. And then as you exhale, you use that exhale to feel the front body drawing in to make space to step your right foot forward. Lower your left knee and the top of the foot. If that transition's ever too much, you can always just drop the knees down, lift up, and then step. But we've got our right foot forward, the left foot is untucked behind us, left hip stacked on top of left knee. And then this time the back of the right hand comes to the sacrum and the left hand comes to the skull. Draw back into your hands, connect to that triple S. And then exhale, hands come forward and down, step the back foot forward, sit back into your butt, inhale, reach forward and up. Exhale, hands come down through your heart. Bring your hands onto your heart space for a moment. Close your eyes and connect to the beats beneath your palms. Find a little gratitude there. We've got one last little sequence here. Let your arms come down to your sides, open your eyes, and then inhale, reach forward, reach up without pushing your front ribs forward as you reach up. Think about the triple S, and then as you exhale, keep that triple S in line. As you sit back into your butt, your torso leans forward. And then bring the hands down. The left foot will step back first this time. Lower the left knee just to hover off the floor. So you're bending the left knee and the back toes, you're on the ball of the back foot. And then lift up here. So you're in this lunge position, but the back knee is bent so that you can root the tailbone down and draw the belly in. The back of the left hand comes to the back of the skull. The back of the right hand comes to the sacrum. And this time, as you draw back into the hands, you can add a little lean over to the right. Keep drawing the front ribs in as you lean over to the right and get that stretch around the left hip flexors, side body. Good, and then come back through center and then start to straighten the back leg, allowing you to tilt forward over this front thigh. Keep space in this right hip, outer right hip drawing in, lift into the hands. And then you can play just with lightly pushing off the back toes, maybe just finding a moment of air time, continuing to feel this core connection, stabilizing you in this triple S position. Or maybe you find a moment in more of a warrior 3 position, lifting the back leg any amount without letting that belly droop towards the floor. We're going to turn this into a warrior 2, so let the toes come down again and then spin that left heel down, toes turning to the left to open up into a warrior 2 with your triple S connection still here in place. Once you feel that you've lined up that triple S, you can take your arms out into warrior 2, let your shoulders settle down, and then let the left arm come around your low back and reverse your warrior. Breathe into your right ribs as you lean back. Inhale, the core brings you up through center. The right forearm lightly lands on this front thigh, and the left arm reaches up and over the cheek with the palm facing the floor. Breathe into your left ribs now. Good, and then come up through center, turning this into a side lunge. You'll let this front foot turn in the same direction as the back foot. So it's turning towards the long edge of the mat. And then sit back into your left butt. Still think about your triple S as you lean your torso forward, hinging into that left hip. Let your right toes come towards or to the floor, right fingers I mean. And then push into that left foot to send you up and over, side lunge to the right, left fingers touch down. Back up and over to the left, letting this feel nice in your inner thighs, your groin, thinking about sitting back into your hips, not going too far forward into the knees. Good, and then we'll come forward to downward facing dog. So the hands will come to the front of the mat, the front right foot will step back to meet the left. You're in your down dog. Take a moment here, pedal your feet out. And then lift your left leg to hip height. As you exhale, step it forward. Let the right knee now come to hover off the floor. But first, make sure your left foot's somewhere on the left side of your mat. Right foot is on the right side. So you've got hips with distance between your feet. Your right knee bends to hover off the mat and you come up. For your crescent lunge on this side, root the tailbone down, feel that belly drawing in. And then here, the right hand comes behind the skull, the back of the left hand comes to the sacrum. Draw into your hands. And then a little arc over to the left. Keep drawing the front body in. Get that nice side opening. Come up through center. Here we'll find some balance strengthening. So leaning forward as you extend your back knee straight. Keep drawing into the triple S. And then maybe just a few light little push-offs. Just playing with that shift of weight fully into the front foot tripod. Or maybe you hold it for a few breaths in more of a warrior 3, drawing into your hands. Thinking about your breath. Expanding your ribs in all directions. And then touching the back toes down again and opening into your warrior 2, keeping your hands as they are for a moment. Feeling the hips are level, drawing the belly in, drawing into your hands, and then you can extend your arms out for a warrior 2. Take a breath in. And then this right arm comes around the low back, flip the front palm and reverse your warrior. Again, keep drawing in. Think about that triple S. Bring it up through center on an inhale. Left forearm lightly touches down, right arm up and over. Good, and then here's our side lunges. Come up through center. This front foot turns in line with the back foot. Sit back into the right hip. Left toes come towards or to the floor, but I'm still thinking, drawing sacrum, shoulder blades, skull in line. Working the brain with the body to get stronger, more efficient, more adaptable, more mobile, all the things. Pushing into the foot, up and over to the other side. And then the next time that you're towards the top of your mat, pivot back into your downward facing dog. And then here we'll walk the hands back to the feet. Sit back into the heels a little bit. Walk your hands up your legs so that you're leaning over your thighs. And then again, bring the right hand to the back of the skull, the left hand to the sacrum. Draw into the hands, feel the belly engage. And then as you straighten the legs, lift up, feel the glutes. Hug a little bit as you stand. And then sit back into the hips, weight equal through the feet. And stand up. And last time, sitting back. And stand up. Nice, arms come down to your sides. Let's take a few shoulder rolls up, back, and down. Wonderful. Now let's come down to our Shavasana. That was awesome. I hope we're all feeling a little more organized in our brain, a little more connected to our body, to our breath. So make your way to your back. This is the most important part of the class. It's all this taking a moment to let your body, let your nervous system integrate and assimilate all your effort. So take up space with your body. If you want anything under your knees, that's always a great option. Let your palms face up or come onto your body, whatever feels organic for you right now. Take a big breath in and then open your mouth, let it out. Take another big breath in. And let it go. One more time, big breath in and out. I invite you to stay here as long as you can. Let the body absorb your work and take this triple S idea out with you into your life to help you stand a little taller and feel a little brighter in your energy. Thank you so much for letting me guide you. Namaste.